CBTsport.net Game of the Week. Bringing you high school, college, amateur, semi-pro, and professional sports video from right here in Central Vermont. Over a decade of local Central Vermont sports video action. Get ready, because it's time for the CBTsport.net Game of the Week.
My daddy made this. Daddy!
Welcome, Hoop fans, to the second annual Winter Solstice Basketball Tournament here at the historical Barry Auditorium. Lori Shepard courtside, or in our March seats, alongside the coach, John Pellegrini. JP, I've missed you.
Yeah, I know it. We haven't had a chance. I've been the voice of the Williamstown Blue Devils so far. I haven't seen any of the boys' games, but I've seen 3 of the girls' games. And that's where I've been. Well, you've been doing all the Division II important games.
The other fun games, right? I tell you what, though, this is where the fun is tonight. And even though it's January, what is it, January 3rd? It has the feel of March Madness already.
And you look around and you see the old ushers that were here last year, Bobby Monica. Paul Plant's here, probably to sing the national anthem.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's like you say, there's a little bit of playoff atmosphere in the air.
And you know what I like the most? So, the first game, the first tip will be in a couple of minutes, and that is the 4-2 Twinfield Cabot Trojans going up against the 2-2 Williamstown Blue Devils. In the second game, at an 8 o'clock tip, it'll be the girls from Twinfield Cabot and the girls from Williamstown as well. But I get ahead of myself, cart ahead of the horse. Did you not feel like the old rivalry is back? When you're talking to both coaches. We're down on the floor. We're looking at the intensity in the players' eyes. I feel like it's March. This is where these two teams, I don't know if I want to say want to be, but expect to be come March.
Right. That's good terminology, expect to be in March. And, of course, Chris Beddore's second year here, but Sid Sweet's first year at the helm of the boys.
It's just so weird for me.
I know it.
I went
up and talked to him, and I was going to ask him about the girls.
Right?
Right.
I mean it completely respectfully. It's just 25 years at the helm, and why not? He's ready to give it a shot. And again, both these teams coming in, again, Twinfield with a record of 4-2, a loss last week to Virgins. The week before that, a nice 69-47 win over Proctor. And the Williamstown Blue Devils coming off a win over Stowe, 70-51 on December 30th. So, we're as we approach that quarter of the way through the season, both coaches just trying to get a feel for their team, a vibe, what's going to work, what's not. And we're at that point where they know what's going to work. This is a rivalry. You're at the Barry Auditorium, January 3rd. This is fun stuff.
We got a fairly good crowd for an earlier game, and so a little bit of fun here to be had tonight.
And talking to Coach Chris Beddore, his 2 biggest keys to the game were Eli Russell needs to be Eli Russell. And the rebounding is key, as it always is, and you got to control the bigs from Williamstown. John, I'm going to throw it over to you for the Williamstown Blue Devils starting 5.
Yeah, starting guard is number 3, Evan Bailey. At the other guard is number 5, Hugh Horace, I guess is his name. Also starting number 10, Chase Wilkins. And number 11, Caleb Jarvis Comey. And rounding it out is number 44, Ben Monaco. No.
44, Kobe Wagner.
Kobe Wagner, I'm sorry, I don't have him in mind.
So now for the Twinfield Trojans, who will be the home team tonight. Starting at guard, a junior number 2, Tez Stewart. Starting at guard, a junior number 3, Eli Russell. Starting in the front court, a junior number 4, Zephyrin Hebert. Starting in the front court, a freshman number 13, Omar Nib, and rounding out the starting 5, a junior number 33, Thomas Gouge. We are just a national anthem away from the tip of this first game of the Winter Solstice second annual tournament.
Tournament Specialties is a proud sponsor of Central Vermont Sports. If you are in need of decorated apparel such as t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, or outerwear, look no further. Tournament Specialties is located in Barrie and would love to work with you on taking your design to the next level. In addition to their embroidery and printing services, they now have a laser etching system that allows for custom etching on drinkware, leather, patches for caps, and other etching needs. Jeff would also be happy to discuss custom online storefront options for your organization. If you are looking for a creative way to fundraise, this has proven to work very well for many local teams and organizations. To learn more, email Jeff at tournamentdesigns@gmail.com.
Back here at the Barrie Auditorium. It feels so weird to say that in January. Lori Shepard alongside John Pellegrini, Garrett Sisley on the camera, and our ace producer, Carl Parton. The Twinfield Trojans will be in their home white, the Williamstown Blue Devils in their road black. And when Coach Bador says we need to control the bigs, he means that, because we are looking at Nick Massetti and Colby Lagner that got to be around 6'4", 6'5", with a wingspan of 7'1",
And you know, Lagner comes in not only working on his game last summer, but he worked on his body, Lori.
Yes.
He comes in a much slimmer young man, and it's really shown around the key. I spoke to Coach Sweet, and he said that they've been having problems rebounding the ball this year a little bit, and they want to be able to keep Twinfield off the glass.
Tej Stewart jumping it up for Twinfield, and of course for the Williamstown Blue Devils, the Twinfield Trojans, the Twinfield Cabot Trojans, control the tip. Williamstown in their man-to-man defense. Ball to Stewart. Little hand off to Russell. And what a good look by Russell down low to Gouge, but not able to knock it home and finish at the rim. Here come the Blue Devils the other way. Lagner from the foul line area, and he uses the glass.
The bank is open early.
It is open really early. Mixic Nib bringing the ball up. Ball in the hands of Tej Stewart. And a little traveling call.
Working out the bugs early in the evening.
I don't want to call it the nerves, but it's, it's those rivalry games. And one more time, I'm going to say it at least 100 times tonight, we are at the Barrie Auditorium.
We are at the Yard.
So Evan Bailey running the point for the Williamstown Blue Devils. On top to Horace. Back to Bailey, who sizes up the defense, tries a little dribble penetration. He is shut off, kicks it back out to Wilkin. Gets caught in that trap. Back out to Horace, pulls up for a 8-footer, no good, one and done. Here comes Stewart and the Trojans.
And one of the things that Coach Sweet wanted to do was keep Stewart off those boards, and he's had a couple of rebounds early here.
Resetting the offense is Mixic Nib. Just a freshman. And Coach Bador said, you are really going to enjoy watching this young man. I thought we had a travel call, but no.
I thought so too.
And Gouge with a couple of looks down in the paint. Hard to leave those points in the paint. 6:15 to go here in the first quarter. Blue Devils up by 2.
The freshman Mixic Nib there wanted the Evan Bailey assignment tonight, Lori, which Coach Bedore was really proud of his young freshman.
You gotta love that. And you do. You're looking at 2 teams that have aspirations of getting back here in February, March. But I really like what Coach Bedore has done with this Twinfield program, Twinfield Cabot program in just his second year. Nice offensive board there by Gouge. And going strong to the hole is Hebert, but just not able to knock it down. They're getting to the rim. They're getting to the paint. They're getting at the rim.
And they're keeping the offensive rebound alive.
And taking a strong baseline run is Bailey, but hit side iron, and here we come the other way. A little bit of a track meet the other way for Mixic Nib. He's got some jets, I'll tell you that. Nice no-look pass. And that time, that was missed by Javis Comey. And the jitters, I guess I have to call it the jitters, John.
Yeah, boy, Omar Mixic Nib can turn the jets on, Lori.
And we're going to sub in 5 for the Blue Devils, led by Nick Massetti, the junior, along with Carter Smith, Chris Collins. I've heard some great things about Chris Collins, Alex Clark, and I'm missing one here. I believe it's Keaton Hill. Out on top to Stewart. Nice ball movement by the Trojans. Shot goes up by Russell, no good, and Massetti comes away with the board for the Blue Devils. Getting it up the left side, and give and go with Massetti, not able to knock it home.
There's a cover over both baskets, Lori.
Yep. As we approach the 5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Bringing the ball up is Mixic Nib. Back out to Russell, who is the key cog here. Has been scoring in buckets. Zephyrin Hebert's going to get called for the travel. Give possession back to the Williamstown Blue Devils. Bringing it up is Alex Clark. Back on top to Massetti, working the ball around the perimeter. High screen set by Massetti. Shot goes up by Hill, no good, and Twinfield doing a really good job on the boards here in the early going.
Yeah, Stewart's owning the boards there on the defensive end.
And stepping in the passing lane is Chris Collins, but it goes off of the Blue Devils. And Chris Collins, who Nick Massetti called the defensive wizard.
Wow.
Of this Williamstown Blue Devils team. I got a whole bunch of nicknames here. Trojans in the half court. Work the ball down low to Stewart. Back out, working it nicely around the perimeter. Russell takes it hard to the paint and doesn't even need to use glass that time.
Yeah, he can shoot that 3, Lori, with consistency, and he passed it up to take it to the rack.
Massetti for the 3-ball back iron. And another rebound for the Twinfield Cabot Trojans. This time Thomas Gouge with the rebound. So we're knotted up at 2 here with 3:45 to go here in the first quarter. We'll hand off to Hebert. He turns the corner, and we're going to have our first and 1 of the contest.
Nice move to the hoop by Hebert.
I tell you, Hebert and Russell and Mixic Nib, they can get to the rim. They have another gear. They have
they do.
3 or 4 different gears.
And we'll watch Twinfield's bench, Lori, because that's they come in with a little bit of a short bench. Stepping in is Sam McLean. He's just coming off injured, and Coach Bedore said he's going to use him, but he's only going to use him about 15 minutes tonight.
Yeah, got to work him in slowly, give him some minutes here and there. No good finishing off the 3-point play. Massetti with the rebound. He is also hoping to get back Sam Churchill very soon. But it's a long season.
Nice
what a
move
nice
by
drop
Massetti.
step. Yep, very nice drop step by Massetti. Good feet around the basket and a nice soft touch to finish. Russell Over to Hebert. And turning the corner is Mixik-Nib.
Massetti says not in his
No.
paint, Lori.
Massetti has got a 7-foot wingspan at least that he's working with. As they try to get it down to Massetti, and he is able to pin back Stewart. They're working the ball back around. Hill with the shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Mixik-Nib. Up ahead, nice lead pass to McLean. And what a nice unselfish dish
Nice
on the
move,
weak side
crashing
block.
on the weak side.
And Hebert acting like a defensive back, able to pick it off. And here come the Trojans the other way. Russell looking to finish at the rim, but happy feet first.
Yeah.
And here comes the starting 5 back for the Williamstown Blue Devils.
Have you ever had a team, Lori, that you've gone in, 5 out?
No.
It's a broadcaster's nightmare.
Oh, I love it. So we're back with Evan Bailey, Wilkin, Lagner, Horace. I'm just going to say the starters that started the game, and Ronan Kate. I asked Nick Massetti to give himself a nickname, and he didn't want to do it. Very unselfish young man, but he gave himself the rebounding glass eater, and I could see why in that
rebound
first go.
glass
Yeah,
eater?
I call it the glass eater. That's
The
my own
glass
nickname.
eater. I nicknamed Bailey the sniper because I think
Yes.
he can snipe from three-point land.
A little full court pressure here by Twinfield, full court man-to-man. And bringing the ball up is Kate. Looks down low to Lagner. And another travel call. I think Lagner turned around and was shocked that the closest defender was like a foot or two away, and just got the happy feet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bringing the ball up is Mixik-Nib for the Trojans. Guarded by Evan Bailey. Stewart, handoff to Russell. Russell turns the corner, the kick back out to Stewart. No good, and McLean and Lagner are fighting hard. It goes off of Twinfield.
Hey, McLean, good job keeping it alive on the weak side.
And McLean coming back from that injury, looked like he tweaked his ankle a little, but gave the thumbs up, staying in the full court man. Lagner able to hit a streaking Kate, who can't finish at the rim. And deflected out of bounds by Horace. Possession will stay right here with the Trojans. Inbounding it will be Mixik-Nib. Again, just a freshman. He is fun to watch.
Yeah, he really is. Boy, he turns on the afterburners, and he has a second gear.
And it's pretty fun watching him and Evan Bailey go at it here. Shot goes up for Hebert, rattles around and out. Nice board by Stewart. Back to Hebert, who gets fouled as he tries to finish at the rim. Hebert will step back to the line, where he's got 4 of the 6 points for the Trojans.
And this is what was Coach Sweet's worst nightmare, was the offensive rebounds that Twinfield is getting time after time here, Lori.
First shot is up, and it just rattles around that rim. Something different about the rims here.
Yeah.
Into the game for Twinfield, back in, is junior forward Thomas Gouge. Second shot, back iron again. Lagner with the board for the Blue Devils. And a good job by Twinfield getting back, transition D. And able to deflect it out of bounds. So wholesale substitutions, 3 this time.
He must have got our message.
Clark back into the game, Keaton Hill back into the game, along with Nick Massetti for the Blue Devils. Bailey down low, 2-man game with Massetti.
Nice up and under. Sorry about that. Nice up and under by Massetti.
And he
Beautiful job with his body underneath there.
And what a soft touch by the big guy. So we're knotted up at 6 with 54 seconds to go. Hebert goes along the baseline. Stepping in is Alex Clark. And here comes Clark and the Blue Devils. Back out to Hill for 3. Front iron. Rebounded by Russell. Russell's coming the other way. Track meet as we get down. Uses the glass. Gets his own rebound. Kicks it back out to Hebert. Works the ball around nicely to Stewart. And a nice little feed by Stewart to Gouge. And I got to say, that's 8 points in the paint here. Nice little ball fake by Russell. And Stewart's like, we're just going to set it down. We got time.
Right, plenty of time,
Set it
16
back
seconds.
up. And a good job by Alex Clark.
Once again, Twinfield able to just gather in those offensive rebounds, Lori, at will.
Coming into the game for Twinfield is Ben Monaco, the junior forward. 12 seconds to go, knotted up at 6.
Yeah, and talking to Chris Bedore this morning, he said he was looking for one of his bench players to be the third scorer with Stewart and Russell.
Oh, nice little two-man game, and Nick Massetti able to finish at the rim, gives the Blue Devils the lead. We got 1 quarter in the books here at the 2nd annual Winter Solstice Basketball Tournament. We got the Blue Devils up by 2. John and I will be right back with the 2nd quarter.
Two 479-9330, professional, reliable, and on time. Also by Sweets Pellet Service out of Williamstown, Vermont, 802-461-9194. Also by Sweets Plumbing and Heating, 802-498-4918. Also brought to you by Yipes of Barry. Auto accessories, apparel, graphics, signs, and banners on 439 North Main Street in Barry, 479-0055. Williamstown boys basketball is also made possible by Barry Tile, Morrison, and Clark on Vermont 14, 889 South Barry.
Back here at the Barry Auditorium. You're watching a presentation of CVTV, brought to you by CVTV723.org, CVTsport.net. This is the 2nd annual Winter Solstice Basketball Tournament, and this is game 1 of 6 games that will be played here this weekend. Starting the 2nd quarter possession with Twinfield.
Massetti coming off a good first quarter, Lori, with 6 points.
3-point shot put up by Stewart, and coming away with the rebounding is Nick Massetti. Quick hand in the passing lane by Hebert, and able to save it was Stewart. Russell sizing uphill and decides a little ball fake and take.
Russell yet to shoot a 3. He's been very conservative with his movements, Lori.
That foul's going to go on Keaton Hill. That is the team's 5th and his 1st. Inbounding it is Russell into Stewart. Tez Stewart backs it up and like a freight train takes it strong to the rim. And Nick Massetti with some nice interior defense for the Blue Devils. Coming in for Williamstown will be Carter Smith and Evan Bailey back in as well.
Williamstown going 10 deep.
Nice take in the paint by Russell, and Massetti comes away with another rebound. It's got to easily be 5 rebounds for Massetti to go along with 6 points here in the first half. Kate will inbound to Evan Bailey. He'll go up the right side, guarded by Mixick Nib. A little stop and pop by Clark. And Stewart comes away with a rebound for the Trojans. Williamstown in that man-to-man defense. Mixick-Nib. I take that back. I had the look of a zone going on for Williamstown there.
Thomas Scott's really active on the offensive boards, Lori. He's keeping the ball alive there and forcing a turnover.
Sam McLean back in, but before that happens, we'll have a 30-second timeout on the floor, and we'll take it to 6:21 to go to the half. Williamstown up 8-6.
This game is made possible by CVTV723.org. If you want to support live-streamed Spalding High School sports, please go to CVTV723.org and look for the Donate Now tab.
His bench players to be the third scorer with Stewart and Russell.
Oh, nice little. Back here at the Barry Auditorium, you are watching the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament, brought to you by CVTV723.org and CVTsport.net. Out of the timeout, Twinfield with the ball. Stewart to kick back out to Mixick-Nib. Eli Russell, a little shake and bake, takes it strong to the hole, but great defense by Alex Clark. Able to poke it away up ahead to Nick Massetti with a little stutter step and go. But before that happens, we're going to have a foul on Tez Stewart.
A good foul by Stewart because Massetti had a step on him and had only one thing on his mind.
Yes. Inbounding it will be Evan Bailey for the Blue Devils. A little lob to Massetti. Working the ball patiently around the rim. Bailey to Massetti, a little two-man game, and a nice step through by Massetti, but knocked away by Stewart, retained by the Blue Devils. Clark, a little dribble and dribble drive kick, back on top to Bailey for three. Lined it up perfectly by in and out. Sometimes there just seems to be a lid, and going 3/4 the length of the court and losing a handle, but corralling it is Stewart for the Trojans.
Oh, McLean with a nice pass.
Yep. Sam McLean with that weak side rebound, able to kick it on the other block to Zephyrin Hebert. And Hebert will step back to the line where he has 4 points in the first half. 0 for 3 from the foul line. This foul goes on Chris Collins. It is the second team foul on the Blue Devils in this quarter. Hebert able to make good on the first shot. Wagner back in the game for the Blue Devils. And Keaton Hill as well.
What a luxury to be able to have two bigs like that.
Right. Second shot by Hebert rattles around and out. Wagner with the board. Up ahead, losing a handle, but Hill right there to corral it. Tries to go baseline. Great defense by Russell. Good ball movement, a lot of dribble drive there. Shot goes up by Kate, no good. And here comes Mixick-Nib, and it is fast.
Oh,
nice little two-man give and go, and Mixick-Nib finishes for the Trojans to give them a 1-point lead. Nice take along the baseline for Keaton Hill.
Back and forth action here, Lori.
Yeah, we got a track meet going on now.
Yeah.
Working the ball around, ball in the hands of McLean. Pulls up short. And here comes Evan Bailey coming up the right side. Resetting the offense is Hill for the Blue Devils. Over to Kate. Kate goes baseline. And Wagner trying to steal it, just not able to corral it. Possession will go back to the Trojans.
Twinfield pushing the pace, Lori, and I think this is the kind of game that Coach Bador doesn't mind getting into with the Blue Devils. If you told him it'd be 10-9 halfway through the second quarter, I think he would be happy.
And those are the turnovers that are going to cause gray hairs.
That's sure.
That's all I'm going to say. And you can tell Twinfield Cabot, they want to get up and down this floor, and so don't the Blue Devils. So Horace takes it in the paint. And nice active hands in the passing lane by Stewart.
Looking for the pick and roll on that.
Bailey will take it out for the Blue Devils. Almost count on him getting it right back after a few passes. Nobody open, and that is a 5-second count on the Williamstown Blue Devils. Back into the game for Twinfield is Thomas Gouch, the junior forward. Bringing it up is Mixiknib on top to Gouch. Little handoff to Russell. Russell able to turn the corner, and a nice little kick out, but a lot of traveling calls here in this first half.
A lot of mental mistakes.
Coming into the game is Wyatt Bickford, the junior guard for Twinfield Cabot. Taking a breather is Eli Russell. Evan Bailey bringing the ball up the floor for the Blue Devils. Over to Hill. Looks for a Lagner screen. A little pick and roll. And looking on that weak side block, it was covered well by Sam McLean. Here comes the Trojans the other way. Loose ball, corralled by Mixiknib.
Mixick is so quick.
He's so quick.
One of the things that Coach Sweet wanted to see was to exploit their size, and so far they haven't been able to do it. Other than a few moves by Nick Massetti in the middle.
And looking for a screen. He gets just that, able to turn the corner, get it off the glass, but skying for the rebound is Keaton Hill. But again, a little amped up as they're trying to get those outlet passes and get out in transition. Another turnover for Williamstown. And Mixiknib for 3. And finishing the net. I think we're going to have a timeout on the floor, or are we just subbing in? We're just subbing in.
Just subbing in.
We don't need a timeout.
Wholesale substitutions.
Wholesale substitutions. Twinfield up by 2 with 2:45 to go in the half. Massetti back in the game for Williamstown along with Alex Clark. And a nice take along the baseline. Good defense by the Trojans. Shot back on top by Horace. No good, in and out. But poking it from behind is Massetti, who was open, but they just didn't see him. A 3-point shot. Went up by Clark, one and done. Here come the Trojans the other way. McLean will reset the offense. Down low to Stewart. Quick active hands by the Blue Devils. You bring that ball down, they're going to poke it away. Horace. Massetti for 3. Nice weak side rebound by Chase Wilkin. Not able to put it home.
Massetti can launch that 3, can't he?
He certainly can. McLean back to Mixiknib, who will reset the offense. And a great read by Nick Massetti. Loses a handle, but able to corral and finish at the other end is Kate. Tie ball game with 1:30 to go to the half. Ball screen set for Stewart. Back to Mixiknib. Back on top to Bickford, working the ball around to McLean. Nice patience on the perimeter by the Trojans. Stewart with the 3-point shot. I don't think I've ever seen this in all my years at the Barry Odd.
I don't think I've seen that either. Be interesting how they're going to get that down.
Back in the game.
We can call our producer in and he'll jump up and get it.
Javis Comey and Evan Bailey. Nick Massetti will take care of it. Eli Russell back in the game for Twinfield Cabot. And with 1:10 to go to the half, we are knotted up at 12. Clark. Back on top to Wilkin. Wilkin with the shot, no good. And coming away with the rebound is Stewart.
Way to keep it alive by Mick Nib. All you got to do is tap it underneath there.
Nice take by Russell. Uses the glass nicely, but just not able to knock it home. Here comes Bailey and the Blue Devils. 3-point shot by Wilkin, no good. And Mick Nib is ahead of the crew. He's ahead of 9 other people getting down that floor.
7 second quarter points by Mick Nib.
And Massetti pulls up right from the elbow. Nick Massetti is definitely keeping the Blue Devils in this game. Down on the low block, the kick back out. Stewart on top, 3 seconds to go. And Stewart puts the shot up and no good. And an entertaining half in the books here in this first game of the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament at the Barry Odd. John Pellegrini and I will step out for a quick Gatorade break, and when we come back, we'll look at scoring and break down the first half. We are all knotted up at 14.
This game is made possible by CVTV723.org. If you want to support live-streamed Spalding High School sports, please go to CVTV723.org and look for the Donate Now tab. Williamstown boys basketball is made possible by Hart Electric. 802-431-8474 for all your electrical needs out of Williamstown, Vermont, Hart Electric. And by Pro Heat, 1689 Vermont 14 in East Montpelier, 802-479-9330, professional, reliable, and on time. Also by Sweets Pellet Service out of Williamstown, Vermont, 802-461-9194. Also by Sweets Plumbing and Heating, 802-498-4918. Also brought to you by Yipes of Barry. Auto accessories, apparel, graphics, signs, and banners on 439 North Main Street in Barry, 479-0055. Williamstown boys basketball is also made possible by Barry Tile, Morrison, and Clark on Vermont 14, 889 South Barry. For all your tile and flooring needs, Barry Tile, Morrison, and Clark, 802-476-0912. And also brought to you by McCaskill Custom Carpentry. They are insured and they offer full free estimates. They do siding, roofing, additions, new builds, finish work, concrete. They offer interior and exterior painting. They are lead paint removal and renovation, and they are RRPM certified in lead paint. They also offer cleanouts, trash hauling, and gravel hauling. You can reach McCaskill Custom Carpentry at 802-272-8198 or email them at mikemccaskill13@gmail.com. That's McCaskill Custom Carpentry. This game is made possible by locally owned Packard Fuels. Located in East Montpelier, Vermont, Packard Fuels is a proud and generous supporter of local high school sports and community events. Packard Fuels, your provider of home heating oil and service with a friendly staff that greets you with a smile. Owned by Ellery Packard III, Packard Fuels, 802-262-3835. Packard Fuels, keeping you warm.
Are eligible for 2 dual enrollment vouchers, each good for 1 free CCV course. And seniors can complete their last year of high school and first year of college at the same time through the early college program. They can even stay at CCV and earn a free associate degree through the McClure Free Degree Promise. Learn more at gotocollegevt.org.
It's not to make a living in Vermont. We really are the bank behind almost every industry. We care about businesses growing and succeeding because that success is our success. We're a billion-dollar bank made up of thousands of Vermont businesses.
Our customers make fresh coffee for great conversations and pull us out of the ditch on a cold, snowy night.
Wherever you are laying down your roots, taking a risk, building a dream, we're here.
This game is also made possible by Vermont Fellowship of Christian Athletes, established in 1954, a community working to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. You can find more information at fcavermont.org, and you can contact them by email at glennolson@fca.org.
Is a handle, but able to corral and finish at the other end is Kate. And get out in transition. Another turnover for Williamstown. And Mixick Nib for 3. Shot goes up by Kate, no good. And here comes Mixick Nib, and it is fast.
Oh,
nice little two-man give and go. And
Spador this morning, he said he was looking for one of his bench players to be the third scorer with Stewart and Russell.
oh, nice little two-man. Little handoff to Hebert. He turns the corner, and we're going to have our first and one of the contest.
Williamstown boys basketball is made possible by Hart Electric. 802-431-8474 for all your electrical needs out of Williamstown, Vermont, Hart Electric. And by Pro Heat, 1689 Vermont 14 in East Montpelier, 802-479-9330, professional, reliable, and on time. Also by Sweets Pellet Service out of Williamstown, Vermont, 802-461-9194. Also by Sweets Plumbing and Heating, 802-498-4918. Also brought to you by Yipes of Barrie. Auto accessories, apparel, graphics, signs, and banners on 439 North Main Street in Barrie, 479-0055. Williamstown boys basketball is also made possible by Barrie Tile, Morrison, and Clark on Vermont 14, 889 South Barrie. For all your tile and flooring needs, Barrie Tile, Morrison, and Clark, 802-476-0912. And also brought to you by McCaskill Custom Carpentry. They are insured and they offer full free estimates. They do siding, roofing, additions, new builds, finish work, concrete. They offer interior and exterior painting. They are lead paint removal and renovation, and they are RRPM certified in lead paint. They also offer cleanouts, trash hauling, and gravel hauling. You can reach McCaskill Custom Carpentry at 802-272-8198 or email them at mikemccaskill13@gmail.com. That's McCaskill Custom Carpentry.
back here at the Barry Auditorium. Lori Shepard alongside John Pellegrini. And we got one half in the books here at the Barry Auditorium between Twinfield Cabot Trojans and the Williamstown Blue Devils. This is game 1 of 6 on the weekend for the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament. We've also got a Williamstown Basketball Community Charity game coming up on January 11th. That is a Saturday. The girls' game starts at 2 p.m., the boys' game at 5 p.m. This is to raise money for the recovery of 2016 Blue Devil graduate Christian Eaton, who was injured in a motor vehicle accident. Put that on your calendar, Hoop fans, January 11th. Also on tap for this amazing, wonderful second annual Winter Solstice. Following this game with an 8 p.m. tip is the Twinfield Cabot girls versus the Williamstown Blue Devil girls. Tomorrow on tap, first tip at 11 a.m. will feature the boys' game between the Montpelier Solons and the Spalding Crimson Tide, followed at 1 p.m. by the Montpelier Solons and Spalding Crimson Tide girls' game. After that, we're not done. At 3 o'clock, the boys will be back on tap. Hazen versus People's Academy, followed at 5 p.m. by the girls' game between Hazen and People's Academy. Different starting 5 here in the second half for Coach Sweet. We've got Evan Bailey and Nick Massetti out there together.
Yeah, and trying to move the ball into Massetti right off the bat there, but the ball went off his hands and another Williamstown turnover.
You've got Kate and you've got Clark still out there for the Blue Devils as well, along with Javis Comey. Taking it nicely to the rim and finishing softly off the rim is Zephyrin Hebert. And right there, that's something we didn't have at the beginning. These guys are playing hard, they're playing fast, they're getting to the rim, just not able to knock it down. Getting the shooter's roll almost was Javis Comey. Nice rebound by Massetti, able to deflect it back out to Bailey.
We saw an example of that wingspan of Massetti there. His
7-foot wingspan.
Hands are 2.5 feet above everybody else's.
And he was telling me his hand size, 10.5 inches. Yeah. So Evan Bailey to the line, the senior guard, and hits back iron.
Scoreless here so far in the first half is Bailey.
Bailey scoreless, along with, well, we were going to say Russell, but he did have one field goal in that first half. Leading the way in the first half for the Trojans was Omar Mixic-Nib with 7 points, and rolls around and out for Bailey. And Massetti and Stewart fighting for the rebound. Stewart able to come away with it. Kicks it up ahead to Monaco. Starts the second half for Coach Bador. And Stewart, that's a nice stroke.
That was beautiful right there. Step back 3.
And as we find that extra gear going the other way, we're going to have a foul on Twinfield.
Those are Tez Stewart's first points of the game. If you'd have told us that Bailey and Stewart were going to be scoreless until the third quarter, I don't think I'd have believed that.
Monaco with his first foul for the Trojans, second team foul on the Trojans. Nice dribble drive and kick. Trying to finish at the rim was Kate. Scrum on the floor for the ball. Massetti able to corral it and gets it out to Bailey for 3.
It only takes him a second to release that, Lori.
Quick.
He is quick. He has a quick release.
And the skip pass back on top to Mixic-Nib. And nice take at the rim by Hebert. But guess who is protecting that rim is Nick Massetti.
Massetti gathering in the rebound.
And trying to make the skip pass. Stewart steps in the way. Mixic-Nib. Back on top to Stewart. A couple of crossover dribbles, gets it to Mixic-Nib. The kick out to Russell. Over to Stewart for 3.
Not a guy to leave open, Lori.
Nope. And already hitting a 3 last possession Here comes Massetti and the Blue Devils. Nice two-man game by Bailey and Massetti.
Massetti leading all scorers with 10.
3-point lead for the Trojans. Nib guarded by Bailey. Hand off to Hebert. Over to Eli Russell, taking it strong to rim. A little runner. Bailey with the board from the weak side. Here come the Blue Devils. Skip pass over to Kate. A little runner in the lane, and definitely hacked across the wrist was Kate. He'll go to the line for two. That'll be the third team foul on the Trojans here in the third quarter. We are 3 minutes in. Ronan Kate, field goal in this game at the line for two. First shot is up and gets that shooter's roll. Horace back in. Oops, sorry, John.
No, Kate with 3 points tonight.
Horace and Lagner back into the game for the Blue Devils. Second shot by Kate, no good. Horace, yeah. Horace had the rebound but stood back up. So the travel call is made. Possession will go back to Twinfield Cabot. Well, full court pressure here by the Blue Devils. Stewart to inbound. Gets it over the top to Russell. Russell
Nice
playing
pass.
unselfish basketball up ahead to Hebert. And Hebert with 8 points on the night. And coming quickly the other way are the Blue Devils. And cleaning things up is junior forward Colby Lagner.
Lagner with only 4 tonight, but coming alive here.
And Nib able to turn the corner. Got a foul on the play. That'll be the first foul. It'll be the first foul on the Blue Devils in the third quarter. That foul going on Keaton Hill. That is his second. Nib with the first shot is good. Second shot rattles around and no good, but a nice defensive board by Monaco. Stewart for three. Almost got the shooter's roll, but no go. And here come the running Blue Devils the other way, led by Hill. Drops it down to Horace on the weak side block. Horace gets his rebound, and in and out. God,
Cover
these
seems
rims
to
are
remain on the cover of the basket for Williamstown as they struggle to convert layup after layup.
Seems to be a little bit of a rim, but they are getting some good looks here. Stewart to inbound for the Trojans. Nice little hook and ladder, basically. And finishing at the other end is Nib.
He is so fast, Lori. He just turns the afterburner on and you watch him.
We were watching the Detroit Lions for a second here. Hill takes it in the paint, gets it down to Lagner, because I'll say this, Lagner, Massetti, they are both having their way in the post. Nib for three.
The freshman is lighting it up.
And as soon as that ball went through the net, you could see Coach Sweet calling for that timeout. It's a full timeout on the floor, and we'll take it to 3:43 to go here in the third quarter. Twinfield on top, 27-19.
This game is made possible by CVTV723.org. If you want to support live-streamed Spalding High School sports, please go to CVTV723.org and look for the Donate Now tab.
Back here at the Barry Auditorium, Lori Shepard alongside John Pellegrini, Garrett Sicily on the camera, Carl Parton, our producer. Game 1 of 6 of the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament, brought to you on CVTV723.org and CVTsport.net.
Lori, one of the keys of the game with Coach Sweet was to try to wear Twinfield down. I don't see them being worn down so far.
And I know, and again, offensively, Lagner and Massetti both having their way on the low blocks, pinning the defenders. Yes. Saving it was the Trojans, but coming away is Lagner, and finishing at the other end. We got a late whistle. That'll probably send Alex Clark to the line for the Blue Devils. This foul going on Mixic Nib. It is the team's 4th and Mixic Nib's 2nd of the game. Clark at the line for the Blue Devils. The sophomore knocks down the first. Back in for the Trojans is Thomas Gouge, the junior forward. Second shot by Clark is good. Nice soft shooter's touch by Clark. 4-point lead for the Trojans. 3-point
There's
shot.
Russell right
there.
there.
It is. And a nice kick out, and splashing it home is Eli Russell to extend it back to a 7-point lead.
It's their third 3 of the third quarter, Lori.
And finishing in the paint is Keaton Hill. Love the sophomore's game. No fear. So that foul goes on Zephyrin Hebert, and that will be his 2nd, the team's 5th. Hill will try to finish off the 3-point play. And he does just that, 5 points for Keaton Hill. I tell you, Bailey and Mixic never having a fun time out there. And going the other way hard is Clark, and not finishing at the rim. Here comes Eli Russell the other way for Twinfield. And looking to trap are the Blue Devils, and what a beautiful trap.
Yeah, that was, boy.
You had Clark and Hill over there, and of course using that sideline as the 3rd defender. They had the Trojans pinned that time. I think it was Russell getting caught that time. And out of that timeout by Coach Sid Sweet, there's a lot more energy and a little more bounce in that Blue Devil team.
Bounce in their step now, Lori. They
good timeout by Coach Sid Sweet.
He's got a way of convincing people to correct their behavior on the court.
And we're just missing a basketball, but we're all good now. Inbounding it is Mixic Nib to Stewart on the low block. The kick out to Russell. Russell goes baseline, gets it back down to Stewart, and he found himself under the basket just a little too far. It was a good look, but Stewart just a little too far under, had to really chuck it up there off that backboard.
Yeah, Russell creating the foul, committing the foul.
And Eli Russell, his first. And the Blue Devils will be at the line for the rest of the 3rd quarter. Definitely seen a shift in momentum here in the last 2 to 3 minutes. Shot is up and good by Clark. 3 for 3 from the foul line. 3-point lead by the Trojans. Second shot is up and good. Nice smooth shooting by the sophomore. 2-point lead for Twinfield. Cabot, 2:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. On top to Stewart. I think he kind of lost the handle. Nice take by Hebert, but just not able to finish on the reverse, and the Blue Devils are ready to get into a track meet. Not finishing is Hill, but here comes Clark in the paint. Back iron. Coming away with the rebound
They have
is
left
Eli
a lot
Russell.
of points in the paint, Lori, tonight.
And Stewart with a nice head fake and the kick out to Hebert. Not able to knock it down, but got a wide open look. And here comes Hill the other way. This foul's going to go on Stewart, which will send Keaton Hill back to the line. That is on Mixek Nib, excuse me.
You do feel a shift
That
of
is his
momentum
third.
here, Lori.
Yes.
You feel Williamstown is going to break out here soon.
Front iron on the first shot for Keaton Hill. Sam McLean back in the game for the Trojans and Coach Bedore. Mixek Nib will take a seat with his 3 fouls. Second shot by Hill, back iron. And that wingspan of Nick Massetti. Off of Hebert. Possession will stay right here with the Blue Devils. Williamstown can knot things up or take a lead here with this possession. Three-pointer by Bailey, no good. Rebound by Stewart for the Trojans. Over to McLean. Will give and go with Stewart. Over to Hebert. Back on top to McLean, working it around nicely to Eli Russell.
That's pretty ball movement right there, Lori.
Unselfish basketball, and just like you said, JP, great ball movement. Twinfield's going to get in a little bit of foul trouble here in this third quarter. Evan Bailey will go to the line for the Blue Devils. That foul is on Sam McLean. That is his first. First shot by Bailey is good. Second shot is good. Russell brings it up for the Trojans. A little shake and bake. Kick out to Hebert for 3. And 3 black jerseys. Here comes Evan Bailey the other way. The lead pass to Horace, not able to knock it down. And here comes Hebert the other way. A little bump by Bailey as he goes up the right side.
Yeah, Lori, Twinfield getting beat out in transition the last couple times, the last couple rebounds down the floor there. They're going to have to tighten things up.
So we talked about Williamstown subbing in the 5 at a time to stay fresh, and we're seeing why Coach Sid Sweet did that. Nice off-balance take by Russell, who's starting to heat up. And able to knock it down. Nice soft shooter's touch for Eli Russell. Into Massetti on the low block. He will just muscle it up for 2.
Strong, too.
Very. 3-point lead for the Trojans. 15 seconds to go. Stewart poked away by Massetti. Up to Bailey, who just rolls around the rim and not able to knock it down. Coming away with the rebound was Eli Russell, and he was fouled.
Take foul.
Immediately, yep. That foul's going to go on Chris Collins. That'll be his second, the team's third. 3 seconds to go. Stewart will inbound. And 3-pointer by Stewart. Whoa, that was close. In an entertaining third quarter here. Finds the Twinfield Cabot Trojans up 35-32. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the fourth quarter of this, I want to call it, this game between 2 Division IV powerhouses.
Yes.
This game is made possible by locally owned Packard Fuels. Located in East Montpelier, Vermont, Packard Fuels is a proud and generous supporter of local high school sports and community events. Packard Fuels, your provider of home heating oil and service with a friendly staff that greets you with a smile. Owned by Ellery Packard III, Packard Fuels, 802-262-3835. Packard Fuels, keeping you warm.
Back here at the Berry Auditorium, Lori Shepard alongside John Pellegrini. Game 1 of the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament.
This is fun.
This is fun. You are watching this entertaining game on CVTV 723.org and CVTsport.net. Very entertaining game.
Very entertaining game. You saw the momentum shift a little bit, and
yes,
Twinfield had I believe, a 7-point lead, and
yes,
now
that was the
Williamstown
biggest
cut
lead.
that to 3 points here.
Massetti leading the way with 12 points for the Blue Devils. Mixic Nib with 10 points, and Eli Russell starting to heat up in that third quarter for the Trojans. Hebert goes baseline, push foul as he attacks the baseline. This foul is going to go on Chase Wilkin. His first, the team's first. Inbounding it will be Eli Russell for Twinfield. Stewart in the paint, nice look, able to save it. Makes its way back to Stewart for 3, over to McLean for 3. Twinfield a little cold from three-point land, and running the floor was Nick Massetti, but gives Sam McLean a lot of credit for hustling back in transition D. And on the other end, we're going to have a travel call on Eli Russell.
Russell dragging that pivot foot.
Ever so slightly.
Right.
That darn pivot foot.
Marvin Pritchard making the call.
One of my favorite officials.
Mine too.
Bailey attacking skip pass over to Wilkin. Wilkin gets it back into the hands of Bailey. Massetti wide open in the paint, but a little turnaround and soft floater. Such a soft touch by the big guy.
14 points from Massetti.
1 point lead for the Trojans.
Oh, nice steal.
And this is a nice two-man game here by Bailey. Massetti not able to finish on the other end. And looking to finish is Stewart, who gets called for the offensive foul. A little out of control.
Right. Tried the Euro step to step around him, but he couldn't.
And that's the second on Stewart, the team's first. Williamstown looking to take a lead here. Shot by Bailey. And coming away with the rebound is Sam McLean for the Trojans. Ball back in the hands of Russell. Over to Stewart. Sizes up a 3. Says, maybe not. Russell over to McLean. McLean for 3. And McLean knocks it home. And first field goal of the game for McLean, but what a big one it is.
That certainly was. McLean not missing a step. Oh, coming up with another steal and a spin
and
move.
The spin move. And able to finish. Oh, foul is called on the floor.
Oh, no, I've already got it in the book.
Here, you want my eraser?
It can't
oh, it's
be.
in pen.
It can't be.
It's in pen. I don't blame you. What a quick hands by McLean, the spin move. Now, John and I had him at the line for one, but instead, 30-second timeout on the floor. We literally have to take a little Gatorade. We'll be right back. Trojans up by 4. Back here at the Berry Auditorium, Lori Shepard alongside John Pellegrini, Garrett Sicily on the camera, and our producer, Carl Parton. And out of the timeout, we thought we were going for the finishing off the three-point play, but instead, Sam McLean's going to step to the line for, well, no, not even for 2. What am I saying?
No.
Possession under their own basket for Twinfield. That took away all the fun.
It
I mean,
really
our
did.
instant replay said different, but that's all I'm going to say. Inbounding it to Stewart. Eli Russell will set up the offense, and you better get on to McLean because he's starting to heat up. Patience working the ball around the perimeter for the Trojans. McLean sizes it up and says, I'll try for that backdoor cut by
Nice
Heber,
move
and
by
that was
Heber.
just run to perfection. Nice pass by Sam McLean.
Took a minute off the clock, too, Lori.
Horace in the paint with a little bit of power, able to finish that off. 4-point lead for Twinfield as we approach 5 minutes to go in the game. Back into the game, Mixic Nib had to sit for a little bit in that end of that third quarter, beginning of the fourth with his 3 fouls. Back cut defended nicely by Williamstown. McLean for 3. No good. Here comes Evan Bailey the other way for the Blue Devils. Over to Clark, down to Horace, and the pickoff by Stewart. Defending the baseline nicely was the Trojans. Stewart able to turn the corner and finish nicely at the rim.
Nice quick step, first step by
And
Ted
powerful.
Stewart.
Quick hands, and the defensive wizardry right now of the Trojans. They are swarming on defense. 4:10 to go. McLean back out on top to Stewart. Over to Mixic Nib. Nice patience working the ball around the handoff to Russell. Stewart at the foul line. Good patience here by the Trojans. We've got an offensive foul on Stewart again. His
That's
last
4.
2
Is that
fouls.
4 on him? Or is that
I think
3
it's
on
3.
him?
Yep, it is 3. The last 2 have been offensive fouls. That'll be the second team foul on Twinfield. And again, the third on Stewart.
And Twinfield having an answer for every little run that Williamstown comes up with. They've got an answer. They've got an answer for it. I'm a little surprised, a little shell-shocked.
Massetti back in the game for the Blue Devils. Hill to Horace on the top, back iron, but Massetti with that wingspan able to corral the rebound and finish it at the rim. 4-point lead as we approach 3:30 to go in the game. Eli
Twinfield's
Russell.
still got to be aggressive, Lori. They can't play not to lose. They've
Agreed.
got to play to win here. They've got to push the ball. Still
Russell.
a lot of time.
McLean. Over to Hebert. And we're going to have a full timeout on the floor. Full timeout on the floor for the Twinfield Cabot Trojans. And we'll take it to 3:13 to go in the contest. Twinfield Cabot on top by 4.
Tournament Specialties is a proud sponsor of Central Vermont Sports. If you are in need of decorated apparel such as t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, or outerwear, look no further. Tournament Specialties is located in Barrie and would love to work with you on taking your design to the next level. In addition to their embroidery and printing services, they now have a laser etching system that allows for custom etching on drinkware, leather, patches for caps, and other etching needs. Jeff would also be happy to discuss custom online storefront options for your organization. If you are looking for a creative way to
Back here at the Barrie Auditorium, out of the timeout by Twinfield Cabot. Mixic Nib with the ball in his hands as we approach 3:05 to go in the contest. And nice quick hands by, I believe that was Evan Bailey, but we're going to have a foul called.
On Bailey.
And that is going to be on Evan Bailey. That is his third. But you know what? You can't take him home. 3:03 to go.
But it's a heck of a lot quicker to 5 than it is 7.
That's true. Very true. Stewart able to corral the leather. Looking to finish at the rim, and Nick Massetti altered that one, but the kick back out and the the shot by Russell. I got to tell you right now, Thomas Gouge is working hard in the paint.
And you know,
for the Trojans.
Coach Sweet talked about the weakness on the boards that he has been experiencing, especially the offensive boards against other teams.
Russell for three and able to knock it down. Inbound to Stewart, and stepping in is Eli Russell to knock down a big bucket for the Trojans. Deflected out to the Blue Devils. Bailey will corral the leather, reset the offense with 2:30 to go in the contest. Hill, Horace in the high post, Massetti in the low post. Hill puts up three, and Massetti there with another rebound for Williamstown.
Nice.
Talk about
move.
A one-man wrecking crew.
How about that?
In a timeout on the floor, a full timeout. We'll take it too. 2:17 to go. Trojans on top by 5.
This game is made possible by CVTV723.org. If you want to support live-streamed Spalding High School sports, please go to CVTV723.org and look for the Donate Now tab.
Back here at the Barry Auditorium, Hoop fans, you're watching game 1 of 6 of the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament, and we couldn't ask for a better start.
No, and
to these
like
6
we
games.
said, Lori, at the Barry Odd, huh? What a better place to be on a Friday night than the Barry Odd.
You're watching this on CVTV723.org and CVTsport.net out of the timeout. Trojans with the ball, 2:10 to go, and a 5-point lead. Big bucket before the timeout by Nick Massetti, keeping the ball alive on the boards. Ball in the hands of Russell, over to Hebert. One more foul on Williamstown, and nice quick hands. Thought there was a steal, but not able to save it.
Russell missing the man underneath. Gouge was standing there all alone.
And Stewart with the crossover. And we're going to have that 5th foul. I believe it's going to go on Keaton Hill. Not sure. Yes, that is indeed going to go on Hill. And it will send Stewart to the line, his first trip to the beloved charity stripe.
You like this new rule, Lori?
I don't mind it.
Yeah. No opinion on it.
No
Either
opinion?
way.
First shot is up and front iron. This is where free throws become oh so important.
Right.
They are the whole game, but at crunch time,
Free throws win games.
oof. Second shot, and he gets the shooter's roll. And he used all of the right side of that cylinder for that one. Hill. On top to Clark. Over to Hill. Massetti has got the defender pinned. Ooh.
Stewart poking the ball away, called with a foul. That's 4, right?
That is 4 now, yes, indeed. And that was a tough one, but he did, you know, Massetti and Lagner have been doing such a good job, and now we got Lagner and Massetti in there together.
Was this the first time they've gone with 2 bigs tonight?
And they are pinning the defenders so well, and Stewart read that one. You saw the skip going to Massetti, and I got to give Stewart, the junior, so much credit.
Right.
It's like a defensive back. They let it happen and just jump into that passing lane. Stewart will go back to the line where he is 1 for 2, 6 points on the night. And we've got a full timeout on the floor, and we'll take it to 1:21 to go in the contest. Trojans on top by 6.
This game is made possible by locally owned Packard Fuels. Located in East Montpelier, Vermont, Packard Fuels is a proud and generous supporter of local high school sports and community events. Packard Fuels, your provider of home heating oil and service with a friendly staff that greets you with a smile. Owned by Ellery Packard III, Packard Fuels, 802-262-3835. Packard Fuels, keeping you warm.
Back here at the Barry Auditorium, game one of the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament. And stick around after the game where John Pellegrini will be picking the CVTV723.org, CVTsport.net player of the game. How'd you like that one?
Yes.
Stewart's shot is good out of the timeout. Second shot, and he likes that right side. 3 of 4 from the foul line for Stewart. Getting caught in the screen, but able to, we got a little kick ball there.
Time running out for the Blue Devils, Lori.
Hill will inbound for the Blue Devils, 1:12 to go. Blue Devils chasing a 8-point Trojan lead. Bailey, guarded by Mixick-Nib, lowers the shoulder and not able to knock it home. And Mixick-Nib will come up with the rebound. Up ahead to Stewart. Up to Nib. Mixick-Nib gets it back on top. And a little bit of chasing going on now. Nice dribble drive and kick. Good patience by the Trojans. And having to foul them, and it's going to send Eli Russell to the line. This foul going on Alex Clark. That is his second. And Coach Sweet would like a timeout. And we're going to take a full timeout, and we'll take it to 48-40. Trojans on top.
Who's your pick for the
for the Trojans? McLean sizes it up and says, I'll try for that backdoor cut by Heber. And back here at the Barry Auditorium, 48 seconds to go in game one of 6 for the second annual Winter Solstice Tournament.
I just love they put together this tournament. Hey, let's give a shout out to Brent Curtis.
Let's give a shout out to Brent Curtis. Called his first game last night.
And he had an exciting one, too.
He had a very exciting game between the Williamstown Blue Devils girls and the Randolph Galloping Ghosts that went down to a last-second shot.
Yes. I spoke to Brent after the game, and I told him they didn't miss a beat.
CC, we miss you. I miss seeing him. Both shots by Russell, no good. Up ahead to Hill for 3, and Zephyrin Hebert
says no.
Exclamation point.
Says no,
Wow.
not on my watch.
Williamstown will inbound. Clark to inbounds for the Blue Devils. Hill, a little stutter step on top to Evan Bailey. Over to Kate. And the rebound by Hebert. And the quick foul is going to send Stewart back to the line for the Trojans, where he is 3 for 4. 8 points on the night for the junior. Hebert with 10 points. what did I say, 13 points for the freshman Omar Miksic-Nib. And Eli Russell came up huge in the second half. 13 points, 11 of those coming in the second half. First shot, good. Second shot uses the back iron for a 10-point lead.
Cal, you predicted 50 points, and just like that.
Three-pointer by Evan Bailey. And a timeout on the floor by the Williamstown Blue Devils, a full timeout, and we'll take it too. 7-point lead for the Trojans. We'll be right back. McLean sizes it up and says, I'll try for that backdoor. Back here at the Barry Auditorium out of the full timeout by Williamstown. They will inbound. The Trojans will inbound, and there's the home run ball from Stewart to Miksic-Nib. We'll have the Tournament Specialties Player of the Game t-shirt coming up here soon. What do you think, partner?
I don't know. I'm watching the game that the freshman
Tale of two halves?
Miksic-Nib had, and not only did he do it on the offensive end, but he held Evan Bailey to 1 3-point shot. Massetti having a boatload of points and having a whale of a night for Williamstown.
Absolutely. And 14 points, 1 of 2 from the foul line for Miksic-Nib. 16 seconds to go. Clark with nowhere to go. Great defense by the Trojans. Three-pointer is up by Kate. Massetti comes away with another rebound.
Good sportsmanship, huh?
Yeah, very
that.
nice to see. And Chris Bedore, I could hear him up here. We'll have a full timeout. Coach has got these timeouts in their back pocket, and we'll take it too. 51-43 Trojans on top by 8. You going with Nib?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think?
Yep. Back here at the Barry Auditorium. Quick time out by Coach Bedore to make sure everybody was on the same page. We've got Miksic-Nib with 14 points on the night. Eli Russell, 14 points as well. 13, 11 of those coming in the second half. Inbounding it to Massetti, and the block by Stewart with 5 seconds to go.
Boy, it's hard to pick that. It really is, Lori. We've had such good ball players on both teams. Kids have had such great games. Pleasure to watch.
Ball in the hands of Thomas Gouch, and he will hold on to it, and that will run out the clock, giving us a final score of 51-43 for the Twinfield Trojans, who will improve to 5-2 on the season. The Williamstown Blue Devils will fall to 2-3. And partner, what say you for the CVTV 723.org, CVTsport.net?
I'm going to go with the freshman Omar Miksic-Nib, and for this reason, not only did he produce on the offensive end, but he held Evan Bailey to, I believe, 5 points.
He did indeed.
He told Coach Bedore that he wanted that assignment, and that he's picked the toughest assignment for every game, so he's going to be my player of the game.
That sounds like a perfect player of the game pick, my friend. And you're right. The only thing, you can look at the little bit of foul trouble he got in.
Right.
But you're going to get in foul trouble when you're guarding somebody like Evan Bailey.
And
for the whole entire, and he still finished with just 3 fouls,
and
I think.
You know,
unofficially.
The stamina of Coach Bedore's team. They held up. They really did. He only went 7 or 8 players deep, but really, that's got to be the surprise.
Absolutely, and we said it at the half. Are they going to wear them down? That is the game plan, but the Trojans have been doing this so far in the early part of the season. They're logging 30, 31 minutes a night, some of these kids,
And
they're
so
ready
young.
to go. Yep.
And they're so young.
So that wraps up game 1 of the Winter Solstice Tournament. John and I will step out for a quick break, and when we come back, tip-off of the Twinfield Cabot Williamstown girls game. One more time, game 1, a final, 51-43. Twinfield Cabot Trojans come away with the victory. We'll be right back.
This has been a local sports video production brought to you by CVTsport.net, your local sports video leader. We'd like to thank our longtime partners, CVTV723.org, channel 192 and 194, Central Vermont Community Access Television, and Orca Media, Onion River Community Access Television in the greater Montpelier area is media for the people.
My daddy made this. Daddy!